Welcome back, I'm Di, and today I am bringing you my first impressions on the Caterer's Guide to Crime Mystery series by Jessica Thompson. The first book in this series was A Caterer's Guide to Love and Murder. This was the September Book One Cozies Club selection, and this story follows Violet, who is starting up her catering business. She gets a big break catering her sister's ex-boyfriend's wedding. A little bit of a weird situation there. The sister is actually also helping out with the flower arrangements for the wedding. So Violet is doing a lot of cooking, and she's getting ready for this big make it or break it event for her business. And then the day arrives and everything seems to be going well until the grandmother of the groom is found dead. At first, it's thought maybe it could be a suicide, but it's also thought that maybe it was just natural causes because the grandmother had health issues with her heart. But as the questioning starts to go along with the detectives arriving, it seems that several people had a motive to get rid of this woman. And so the detective that arrives is actually someone that Violet knows as well, and he's kind of a rookie on the job. So he asks Violet to help him out in trying to find out more information from the people who were at this event. Being that she's the caterer, she could approach them in a way that was less formal and more like conversational and not make it seem so obvious that she was looking for information. And so Violet gets involved in trying to figure out who wanted to get rid of the groom's grandmother. I had received a copy of this book directly from the author herself. She had actually reached out to me to see if we might be able to fit this book into our schedule, and I was happy to be able to oblige. I also, though, borrowed a copy from Kindle Unlimited because it is available there, and I ended up reading that copy instead of the one that I received, just so that the author would be able to get some credit for me reading the book. Not quite sure how royalties work with that, but I hope that by me doing that, she was able to get some credit for that. My mom also read this one since it was on Kindle Unlimited, so I was able to talk with her and actually be able to talk to somebody in person about my thoughts on this book as I read it. I did record a chapter by chapter for this, as I usually do with all of the Book One Cozies Club selections since November of 2020. And so if you're interested in hearing my candid, more spoilery thoughts on this book as I read through it, definitely check out the playlist below. But for right now, I'm just going to give you my general unspoilery thoughts, so no worries about any spoilers here. But that being said, I did end up enjoying this book. This book includes a lot of recipes. I felt like it was very generous with the amount of recipes that it offered, and unlike other cozy mystery books that do include recipes, the recipes fall pretty much after every chapter that the recipe is mentioned in. And so I thought that was very great. There are a lot of recipes in this book that I really want to try out, including some chocolate chip snickerdoodle cookies, and I believe their mini cup cannolis sounded really interesting as well, and so I'm looking forward to trying those out. The mystery itself was interesting. I did not know who the killer was until it was revealed. That being said, there were a few things that bothered me with this story. In the dialogue of our characters, there are a lot of exclamation points. So while I was reading, I felt like everybody was just yelling all the time. Not sure if that's what was intended or if it was just meant to emphasize those ideas. But for me, as I was reading through the book, I felt like everybody was yelling. It was very loud in my head, and so that wasn't too enjoyable for me. Also, Violet jumps to conclusions rather quickly a lot of the time. So she'll get an idea, or somebody will say something that'll be like, oh, what if he did this? Or what about this? Or what about this? And then it'll continue with her talking to said person. And at times it was humorous, but at other times it was like, okay, really? This book also opens up with an argument between Violet and her husband, which has to do with when they are going to have children or if they're going to have children. And I didn't think that opening up a book with that was great for me as a reader. I much would have rather had some backstory on Violet and her catering business and her prepping for this, which we do get later after this argument. But I would have rather had that first and then move into this issue that she's having, as opposed to opening up the book with this big argument that she's having with her husband and then moving on to, okay, I've just started my catering business and, you know, I've got this big make it or break it opportunity. That didn't sit too well with me either. That being said, I was happy to see how that issue that she had with her husband at the beginning of the book is resolved at the end of the book, or I feel like it's in a more comfortable place. So that was great for me as well, involving how this story concluded. There was another little bit towards the end where I got a little bit confused with how the placement of something went in as far as the last couple chapters. But all in all, I did enjoy this book, and I'm looking forward to reading the next one. If you have followed Book One Cozy's Club for a while, you know that every December we do pick a holiday-themed selection. That will not change this year. However, we also have some Book One Cozy's Club bonus selections, which are continuations in series that we did read in previous Book One Cozy's Club holiday selections. So like we read the first book in this series for the holiday selection and then continued to the following installments year after year. And so it just so happens that the second book in the Caterer's Guide to Crime Mystery series is also holiday themed. So I will be reading the next book in this series for December as well. So that is 4 holiday themed cozies that I have lined up for December. You're welcome to read any of them along with me, though I will only be doing a chapter by chapter and a series first impressions video on the first in a series book that is chosen for December. So before I let you go, I do want to let you know what the October Book One Cozy's Club selection will be, and that is Candy Coated Murder, the first book in the Pumpkin Hollow Mystery series by Kathleen Suzette. This book is available on Kindle Unlimited also, and is a shorter selection than ones we've had recently. So I'm really looking forward to that one. So let me know down in the comments below if you have read A Caterer's Guide to Love and Murder and what you thought of it, or if you're thinking about reading it now that you've heard a little bit more about it. Thank you to Jessica Thompson for providing me with a copy of your book in exchange for choosing your book as one of our selections. I was more than happy to accommodate your request, and I'm glad that we were able to do that for you. Don't forget that you can also come talk to me in the Mystery Madness Goodreads group or our Discord, which are linked down in the description box below, whichever one of those you feel more comfortable conversing with me on. And that will do it for me today. So if you've made it to this point of the video or would just like to let me know that you were here, if you could leave me a birthday cake emoji down in the comments below, that would be greatly appreciated. That would really help me out, as this is my birthday month and my booktubeversary month. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye!